Ah, paradise. How sweet it is. So, anybody want to learn about another palm tree? A really, really, really beautiful palm tree. Look at this movement. Listen to that noise. You know, we have a busy road down at the bottom of the canyon down there, Moraga Road. It's really far away, but the acoustics work such here that everything radiates up here. And so, you know, a lot of people will use waterfalls to mimic or to mitigate the noise. Use palm trees too. Palm trees will give you that nice rustling noise. So, as it is with this one. Now, this one here moves very delicately with any amount of breeze because of it has a large sail effect, and also because it sits vertical, planar to the has a vertical orientation and shows its profile, but it also creates more of a sail effect for movement in the wind. So this one moves very easily, and you can see how beautiful it is to have this vertically oriented tropical foliage where you can really see the profile of each frond. So what is it? What is it? It looks a little like a canary palm. It's too big to be a pygmy palm. It's lighter green than most phoenix palms. It does look like a phoenix palm, right? Is this some kind of weird hybrid? What's going on here? All right, I will tell you. This is Phoenix rupicola, the cliff Indian date palm from guess where? Correct, India. That was an easy one. All right, so look at this thing. So if you're gonna plant a cliff Indian date palm, where would be the best place to plant such a tree? I thought about it, and I thought, and I said, wait a minute, I know. I'll plant it on the edge of my self-made cliff. Here's my big cliff I made. You can see here. Hopefully you can see that. Someday I'll afford a cameraman. But until then, it's just me and my hand. Gotta buy one of those sticks. You won't have to look at my nose as much. Anyway, so here's this big rocky area here. I kind of raised the grade so we could have this nice playable area for my children. I have a really large lot, but I had to fight and scratch just to get this much flat area for us to play on. And now it's just a little too far to throw the football, or a little too short. The ball ends up going down the hill and lose lots of balls. But anyway, yeah, this is the perfect place to plant a cliff Indian date palm on the edge of your self-made cliff. It's a very slow-growing tree. It's been here probably about 16, 17 years, and you can see it now has about 5 foot of trunk. The tree itself is probably another, 8, 9 feet, so it's probably a total of, 14 feet? But if you planted a Mexican fan palm, it would be absolutely enormous. It'd be like 30, 40 feet tall. You'd have to be trimming that thing constantly and climbing up it. But this one here requires very little maintenance because it grows so slow. And this tree hardly gets any water anymore. Totally drought tolerant. And the foliage itself is really glistening. You can see here it has a real nice sheen to it. And the foliage is also very thin, and so that allows it to be translucent. See the translucent quality. See if I can get in here. See how golden that is? Isn't that beautiful? So when the tree is backlit, it's just utterly gorgeous. And that's because the foliage is thin, and the thinner it is, the more translucent it becomes. And also because the tree has a lighter color, it transmits the light more than a tree with darker green color. So this is a really well-behaved phoenix. You can see, we probably have about 12 to 15 foot spread. The tree can get as high as 30 feet, but it's going to take more than a lifetime to do that. I like to plant this plant as a foliage accent in the garden because you're not going to be able to walk underneath it. You know, like a queen palm, for instance, you could pretty much walk underneath them right away. Let's give you an example of that and get out of the sun here. Sorry for the exposure. But there you go. Queen palm, right? You don't want all that foliage in your face next to these chairs. But you get the thing above you and it creates a canopy. There's a real nice queen palm. These are Parajubaeas. They take 15, 20 years to get tall trunks as well, just like the phoenix. But look at that beautiful phoenix there. And also I use this plant as a color contrast in the landscape because of that beautiful iridescent yellow color that it provides, as you can see when it gets backlit a little bit. This tree is generally not available at all unless you go to this place in Richmond called Golden Gate Palms Nursery. And we have some, but you're going to be disappointed because they're not that big, because they're very slow growing. But you need to put one of these things in your garden and just wait and sit it out, because eventually it'll be the most beautiful thing you have. I had a customer send me an email after like 10 years of not hearing from them. And they said, hey, you told me, Gary, that my Phoenix rupicola is going to be my favorite palm in my landscape. And it was really little and dinky when you planted it. And we weren't even sure if we wanted it because it was inconsequential at the time of planting. And I insisted because I knew it would change their life. And guess what? 10 years later, he actually sent me an email going, oh, this thing looks beautiful. It's my favorite plant. I'm so happy you planted it. Should have kept that email. I could have posted it right here. But that was really nice. So 10 years later, send me some photos of your Phoenix rupicola that I talk you into, because it'll change your life and make you a happier person. So I want to just walk into my backyard real quick and give you an example, because I'm actually trying to sell some of these right now to somebody. They know who they are once I post this. But they also were interested, well, I suggested, and they also found on their own independently, the idea that they could use, look at this tree. Look how pretty, oh, the exposure's all messed up. Let's see. I don't know how to change the exposure on the, anyway, can you see that? Look at the color. Woo! And the profile. Look at that profile. Anyway, let's go down and take a look at, can we sneak another view of this thing when it's like down from under here? I don't know. Somebody needs to teach me how to use my phone and the exposure. My exposure gets all messed up sometimes when I try to make these videos, because I'm just not smart about it, you know. Well, whatever. I'll look on the web sometime and figure it out. But now check out over here. Here's another option. And I need to trim all this, but I don't have time because I'm too busy working for you guys. But look, that there is a Phoenix. This exposure's really messed up. That is a Phoenix Canary Robellini Canary Pygmy hybrid. And I have two of them matching right here. This also is a really nice tree. This tree grows faster than the rupicola. It doesn't have as translucent of foliage, but it still has really nice foliage. It's a great tree. It's softer than it's more prickly than a little tougher than a pygmy, and it is softer than a canary, and it's not as big as a canary. You can see the trunk only gets about 18 inches across, about same size as a rupicola. I have to get in here and trim all this out. You guys know anybody I can call to do some palm trimming? These guys at Golden Gate Palms, they won't show up. So, anyway, here's the beautiful translucence of this particular tree. But there you go. Now you know about two awesome Phoenix trees. One's a pure strain species. The other one is a man-made hybrid. The Pygmy palm is native to Laos, Vietnam area. The Canary palm is native to the Canary Islands. And they're very far apart from each other. The only way that those two got together was an arranged marriage by their parents. And there you go. You take a Canary palm from the Canary Islands, and you take a girl over there from Laos and Vietnam, and you prearrange their marriage. Then they have beautiful children because they mix the best qualities of each of the plants. And that is what you get when you get hybrids. You also get hybrid vigor. Palms that are hybrids are really vigorous, more so vigorous than the parents. That's all I know today. Thanks.